Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of We Need to Go Deeper, the podcast that you liked before it was cool. I'm Green9090, and with me is Alpaca Patrol.
Hey!
And we can't hear him, but that's okay.
Oh, really?
He's here in our hearts. No, I mean, we can kind of hear you.
Yeah.
We've got Zen from Zen and Cyrene.
Hello!
Yeah, people are really going to be able to tell whose voice that was.
Yes, of course. Of course.
We've got Austin from Last Grey Wolf. Wait.
What's up, everybody?
And Cam from Currently Dancing Cam.
I'd be more worried about coyotes if I was you.
I am worried.
I am worried.
So, what have you guys been doing this week in video games? Anything cool happen for you?
Well,
Yeah.
go ahead, Cam.
I started playing Pikmin again, and that shiznit is the coolest.
Pikmin was a really good game. I enjoyed that
Yeah.
game a lot. You know what makes that game even better is the C-stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a difficult one to figure out, but I have a better gamepad now, so it
Yeah.
should be
Yeah.
easier.
As in a gamepad.
Yeah, as in not a keyboard. I can't even imagine trying to play Pikmin on a keyboard. That's gotta be
It's
impossible.
gotta be the worst thing ever.
It was difficult, but it wasn't impossible. It was
Yeah.
difficult, though.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm actually... I hesitantly say this, but I'm kind of impressed how well you did do using a keyboard, not knowing how to use the C-stick. Like, I wouldn't have
Yeah.
expected you to get very far at all under those conditions.
Many Pikmin died due to my ignorance.
And many more will.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really hoping you were just gonna walk them all into the water. There was one time when you almost walked off of a cliff into water, and just
Yeah.
all of your Pikmin would have died immediately. Game over. And I was
That
like,
would've
oh, but it didn't happen.
But it
That
wouldn't have been game over because if you lose all your Pikmin, I know this
Yeah,
because I've done it.
you get one more
yeah.
seed. Yeah, and then your first day would have been like fucking wasted because you would have to grow another army the next day.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that moment, because even people who are really good at Pikmin, you can still lose like 50 Pikmin in one instant.
Oh, yeah.
There's, with the bombs and things like that.
Some
of
of those
more
boss
Pikmin
battles?
too, but still. There's
My
just-
problem when I was playing Pikmin was I was too focused on growing my army and I didn't get parts at a good enough rate. So I would always have like fucking 500, 600 Pikmin, but then I would run out of days because I spent too much time growing Pikmin.
I was the opposite. Like, I was fucking terrified of missing the parts. Like, whenever there's any kind of timer in a game, I'm just always constantly shitting my pants. Just like, oh god,
No,
we gotta
yeah.
get the parts.
I think I was also incompetent. Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like a pretty ridiculous reaction to having a timer in a game. You should
Yeah,
check
I mean,
it out.
I had
Yeah.
to buy adult diapers for it. It's a pretty rough time
Yeah,
in my life. I didn't enjoy Pikmin. very
Rob
much.
can't even see a stopwatch without just uncontrollable defecation.
Ah, Jesus Christ! Oh no!
It's like-
Oh, you are a Rob bot. I like that.
Yep, that's
very
pretty
clever.
much it.
That was really good.
Honestly, I've never played Pikmin before. I only have the vaguest idea, and if I didn't know it was a cutesy Nintendo thing, I would think you guys were describing like some kind of horrible genocide. You know,
Well,
like, oh, 50
it's
people
both.
gone at once, 500.
It's both.
What?
Send
That's
out
What it
basically
is-
ways
yeah.
to do your bidding and just all sorts of fun things to do in happy Nintendo games.
It's
For
essentially
people who aren't familiar with
genocide.
Pikmin, it's basically a real-time strategy game.
Yeah.
Where you have to follow a guy, the general of the army essentially in third person, and he has to go around and manually assign tasks. But you just have a bunch of different Pikmin, and you can tell them to do shit for you.
Mhm.
And you have to, by the end of a 30-day limit, it's kind of ballsy. It's a very XCOM-like game in that if you don't accomplish your goals within a certain amount of time, you lose.
The
Like,
world
you can
ends.
lose the campaign 10, 15 hours in. Maybe not that much? I don't know, but quite a ways into the game, you can lose.
It's
Yeah.
a game that you can play through the full way and then still lose. Like, there's no
Yeah.
guarantee that you'll win at the end.
Yeah, and if
Right.
that happens, you have to start all over from the
Yeah.
beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
I
it's-
mean,
it was
the
a
last
ballsy game
good
from that time.
Miyamoto developed game, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, after that, he made the only original IP that he was a real part of was Nintendogs, and I somehow doubt we all have good memories of Nintendogs.
I don't mind Nintendogs. I don't think it's a bad game. It's not
Yeah,
targeted
I
at me.
never
was-
played it.
I played
Yeah,
it.
I
That
think
was,
I think it's a really good game for like Japanese schoolgirls.
you
You know,
Well,
like I think he knew his
yes.
audience and he went for it.
That's going on
And
the
I don't have a
box
problem with
for
that.
Nintendogs too.
Yeah, back of the box. Really good
Kickstarter.
game for Japanese schoolgirls. Yep, Green 9090.
I haven't
But
played. Nintendogs. I've only played Imagine Babies, and that's a long story.
What?
Wow.
Imagine
Imagine
Babies.
babies?
Imagine babies.
Yeah.
What?
Wow, that sounds a lot like Scribblenauts.
You've never heard of this?
I
That
have
paints-
more
like,
questions
surprise.
than answers then.
That paints the strangest picture in my mind.
You're imagining
babies?
babies. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, you've imagined a baby. Game over.
You win.
It's an entire line of games for the DS. Imagine fashion model, imagine babies, imagine dogs, you know. And
yeah.
I played it because I was writing humor articles about that kind of thing. So there you go. That's my excuse.
It just sounds like such an easy way to get money. Like, do you want a game? Go ahead and imagine the game. You can do anything you want. $50.
Actually,
It's just a box.
funny that you mention it, but that's like when what's his face, the guy who I don't think it was Miyamoto, it was someone, maybe it was Reggie Fils-Aimé from Nintendo, asked like, "Are you guys gonna have good multiplayer support?" And they were like, "Yeah, we have great multiplayer support. You know, talking about Zelda with your friends, talking about the new ending, like that's
Oh my
multiplayer."
god.
And it's like, oh, Nintendo, why?
Wow.
That is the most sloppiest question dodge ever.
It was really terrible.
Well, we don't have multiplayer, but we have talking about the game with your friends.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You can call them on their cell phones.
Mhm.
You
It's
can
emergent-
use their
not
houses.
included.
Emergent multiplayer.
You can use PictoChat.
Why don't you just go get a life and talk to other people about this shit?
Yeah,
What life?
we shouldn't be responsible for your social life, you fucking entitled piece of shit gamers.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
I guess-
that's
That's the rest of the podcast.
about
Yeah,
it. See you later,
just
guys.
the 2 hours of Rob and Austin trying to talk over each other.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's eating the tape again.
What?
I didn't get that.
You know, like cassettes. It eats the tape.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Like VHS tapes.
Yeah.
That's a good
Okay.
reference. Yeah.
I'll roll with it, Cam. What were you gonna say,
You
Rob?
guys remember VHS? I
Well,
used to watch Star Wars on my VHS tapes.
So, Game64, the Winnie the Pooh game is something I'm thinking about looking at for my channel at some point.
why
Don't
did you
do
bring
it.
that
Don't
up?
do it, Zen.
What?
Like, part of the problem is it's going to take you like 5 minutes to look at it and be like, I never want to fucking touch this game again.
Yeah,
like half
it's
the
really
the
poor-
shortest series ever.
It's poorly designed. It's super repetitive.
It's
Oh,
very
okay, well.
bad.
It is just, it makes me hate things
Yeah.
a lot. It really
It's
does.
just a timing based game, and then you also have to like move your mouse to aim, and it's that over and over again, and it's fucking impossibly specific about how you can hit this goddamn ball.
Yeah, and then it's
Like
it's just-
literally 70 or 80% of the space where you can hit the ball, it's just going to go into a foul or a hit, which also doesn't count.
Yep.
You need a home run.
And not to mention some of the pitches don't just like, oh yeah, he throws invisible baseballs.
What?
No, man, just
Fuck that.
literally there is
That's
a pitcher
endgame,
who
though.
throws invisible baseballs, and
Oh,
you
that-
have to hit home runs.
That's
How-
endgame.
What?
Yeah, that's-
Invisible baseballs?
Yeah, and fucking
What is
like
the point?
zigzagging baseball. Yeah, I know.
I've been asking myself that question for a long time, Cameron.
That
I still
doesn't
don't have an
involve
answer.
like any sort of coordination. That involves like telepathy.
It involves luck, yeah. Well, you have to look at the way he pitches. It turns invisible a little while later, so you have to look at like where it starts flying, and
Oh, God.
judge from there where it's going to be. It's fucked.
It's
stupid.
It's you could do so many things with your time that would be considered
More
way
balls than
productive.
Cam.
Yeah,
Oh.
but
I don't understand that, Burn, but I,
That's okay.
I don't know.
We can
I
discuss
just-
it
everyone
it
later.
doesn't
has
burn,
two
really.
balls. So if the game throws more than 2 balls, then yes, more balls than me.
Wait, you only have 2 balls?
That's
What?
That's a good
Oh
point.
god, I admit that I only have 2 balls.
Yeah. That's why he's the one who always gets made fun of, man.
Yep.
Hashtag Cam has 2 balls.
Cam facts.
Hashtag
Cam
anatomy. Anyway,
anyway,
so I've been playing a lot of Far Cry 3 this week,
Mm.
and I have a lot to say about that game. it's a really interesting game in that I feel so strongly positively and negatively about it.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
Yeah.
you're
So
neutral then?
It's kind of, I guess, I like playing the parts I like a lot. If you're watching this in post, I just fucked up my audio. I'm sorry.
You just created time that you have to spend fixing it. So
Yeah,
it
I
really only
actually
hurts
nudged
you.
my space bar and that paused Audacity. I hate that
Oh,
shit.
that's a bummer.
Oh.
Were you like pressing spacebar for dramatic effect?
No, I just nudged it. Like,
Oh.
I don't even know why.
Oh,
I was
that's terrible.
just gesturing with my hands and touched my space bar.
No.
Yeah, usually I rest on my keyboard as well. I just
Yeah.
rest my face down when I get tired.
You a cat?
Yeah. Yeah, I am a cat.
Okay,
Anyway, Far Cry.
yeah, okay, so Far Cry 3, I hate it, and I like it. So I really like playing the parts that I like playing, is what I was saying. But then there's other parts that I really hate. So here's the deal with it. Like, first off, you start off, you're in this linear piece of shit tutorial where you don't get a gun and you can't do anything. Like,
That
it's
sounds
just...
So
yeah.
much fun.
It's you're in a cage and it sets up the story. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's like you're in a cage and then you get out of the cage and you're following this guy around and he tells you what to do. And you do so many silly things when you're following him. Like there's a guy just sitting there like looking at a map or something, totally unaware of you with a gun on his back. And I'm like, so we're going to kill that guy and take his gun, right? Like that's the only logical solution to this problem. And he's like, no, sneak past him. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm going to take the gun from the guy. And and it just like says, oh, you failed the mission.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And
my
I'm like,
God.
oh,
hate
fuck. Fuck you, game. Fuck you. It's like the total antithesis of an open world game.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know?
I think that's like one of the things that's the sticking point of using story in games, because like the thing is, a lot of writers are transferring over from film to video games.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And they're like, well, now this happens, but like as a gamer, you're like, well, no, I want to just go stab that guy in his dick. Like I'd rather do that than
Yeah.
the other way.
Exactly.
Yeah, but.
On a related note, I was playing Assassin's Creed 3, and it would not let me kill George Washington for the life of me. Literally, it kept failing me out. I wanted to kill him so badly just because I couldn't.
Well, that's a little different. That's like,
That's-
killing a quest NPC.
Yeah.
I don't
Which they
give a
can't really
crap
let you
what it
do.
is. I want to kill him.
But
Cameron
this is just like
sees
unnamed
teammates.
NPC that you have to sneak past no matter what because you're
Right,
learning how
yeah.
to sneak right now. So just chill out. We'll let you shoot people later. And I'm like, oh, fuck you, game.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we keep on sneaking. And it's just the most linear, boring tutorial. I can't care about anything. And you run away, and people are shooting at you, and you can't do anything. And then finally, after all of this, you kind of get some control. Like this guy is like, here, take some money, buy a gun, go take care of this radio tower. Because I should explain, there are a few different like systems in Far Cry 3 at work. There are radio towers where if you climb up to the top of them, then you unlock a section of the map so you can see what's going on. And there are outposts, and if you kill everybody in an outpost, then it becomes yours, and that area becomes safe. But if you're in an area around an outpost, and you haven't cleared it yet, then there are enemies everywhere crawling around, so you can't really do much until you take out the outpost. So they, like, tutorialize that, but you at least get to do it yourself, and, do that. And they show you a lot of, like, graphical showpieces and shit. The game looks fucking amazing, by the way. Best looking game I've ever played, hands down. Really good looking game.
Yeah. I bought that for my brother for Christmas, and
Oh, yeah?
he put it on the hardest difficulty, and I played just a little bit of it, and it was easy as crap. I hadn't even
Yep.
played it.
Yep,
At
easy
all.
as hell. That's one of my major problems with it.
Easy
Yeah.
games.
Well,
Yeah.
Bother
it's
me.
it's one of those things like that. That's another thing that happens with video games now is that every year video game budgets go up and up and up, and it's different from film, right? Because like you can spend $150 million on a movie, and everyone will see every part of that movie, right? They're sitting there
Yeah,
and they're
totally.
watching it. But like sometimes they'll spend $20 million on like this one showpiece moment, and if you can just walk around it, that's just a big waste of fucking money for them.
Yeah,
So I mean
totally.
that's another reason why they do that whole linear thing, which is kind of it's kind of a vicious circle, really.
Yep.
Which is why indie games tend to be very good for that reason.
Yeah,
They don't really have
absolutely.
to adhere to those huge budgets and the huge everything. and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's exactly it. Like, Far Cry 3 has a story where it's a linear first-person shooter, and you have to do exactly what they want you to do, period. And then it has also an open-world game completely separate from that, almost no interaction between the two, where you can do whatever the fuck you want, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once you get through all of the tutorializing, you clear the radio tower, you clear the outpost, then you finally have a choice, like, do you want to do this story mission, or do you want to go explore the island? And I'm like, fucking finally, 45 minutes in, I get to do what I want in an open world game. So I, like, get in a car and drive around and, like, smash it into an enemy car and shoot all the enemies and take their car and, like, drive a car off a cliff and roll out of it, and then it crashes and explodes and lights all the grass on fire. I'm like, yeah, this is fun. and I, like, and it's like, you know, like, go get some dingo skins to upgrade your pack or whatever. I'm like, yeah! So I go find dingo skins, or I go find dingoes and I sneak around and I hunt them and I shoot them with my silenced gun
babies.
I bought. Yeah, while they're jumping on babies. Yeah, you get babies and you can throw them to distract the dingoes, and then, like, while they're eating it, you can shoot them. No, I'm kidding. That would be awesome, though.
Whoa.
That would be
I don't know why I
really
believed
awesome.
you for as long as
Yeah,
I did, 'cause I was really confused.
That would
No
be
one was
so
laughing
good.
at
Yeah,
that.
you just yeah. In one of the early story missions, you get like a bag full of babies that you get from an orphanage, and then from then on, you can just throw babies whenever you want. Man, why don't we develop
My
games?
God.
We really should.
It's the same reason we don't develop movie sequels.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, Baby Toss 2,
Yeah.
The Return of Jafar.
Wait. You were making that up?
What?
Yes. Yes.
I was totally enamored with that. I thought that was super
Yeah,
cool.
that would be really cool, though.
I feel like
but yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I feel like I should be like telling stories to Cam, like just as a way of practicing for when I have babies in the future.
Not a story like that, though.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a fucked up story to tell your baby.
Yeah.
Not that baby. By the way,
If I
yeah.
find
And then
a
he
dingo,
rescued
I'm gonna
all of
throw
the
you into
babies
them.
and put them in a big bag. And then he went to the dingo field.
And your brothers and sisters didn't make it out. That's why I kept you. You were
Yeah.
the strongest among them.
You were the
Yeah.
chosen one. Chosen by Dingo.
Yeah, he killed a dingo with his bare hands.
Yep.
Hercules style. Or Harry Potter style, maybe.
Wait, what? Okay, Hercules made sense, but Harry Potter?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
he
dingo
opened
tried
the
to bite
sea.
him and then
Choked-
the dingo
he choked-
died.
Yeah.
Oh, I
But he
guess.
got a lightning bolt scar.
Ah, I see.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, you don't remember the scene where the baby choked out Voldemort? Took him to the
Yeah! Just fucking like slammed his
Choked
head
out
into the crate.
best part of the series, yeah.
It's a good book.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Definitely.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, so I'm having a blast. I'm like wandering around, and then I'm like, okay, I can't find this animal on my map. I must not be in that area. So I drive over and I free another radio tower so I can see the map, and I'm like, oh fuck, that animal is gonna be really hard to hunt while there are dudes everywhere trying to kill me. So I go to an outpost and clear that out, and then I go kill some more animals. I'm having a great time, and eventually I'm like, okay, I should probably check out the main quest. And the main quest is just the total fucking opposite of that. It's like, just do what we tell you the exact way we tell you. And I have some examples. Like, there's this one quest where you're trying to get into a radio thing to, like, intercept a transmission to find out what the enemies are doing. And it's like, okay, first, find a vantage point. And it puts a vantage point on your map. And I'm like, that doesn't look like the best vantage point. I kind of want to be up here so I can use the sniper rifle I bought and just pick people off from there. That sounds great, right? And I try to get up there, and it's like, hold on, buddy! You're leaving the combat area.
Yeah.
You gotta go to the designated area that we've pointed out to you. I'm like, oh my god. So you have to go there. You have to, like, identify all the enemies from there. And then if you start shooting at them from there, they're like, oh, you noticed you failed the mission. So you have to sneak up on them and kill them with melee. And I'm like, oh, this is so fucking stupid. This is the exact opposite. Like, especially when you're taking out outposts, that's a lot of fun. Because you can try to find ways to, attack it stealthily so they don't know you're there. So you can, like, sneak in, like, use your bow to shoot dudes and then, like, try to stop anybody from seeing the body. So you take them out in a certain order. And you can do it from wherever you want. Or you can just run in guns blazing and it doesn't matter. As long as you kill everybody in there, you win and you get the outpost. And then there are a lot of missions that are similar in that you have to kill everybody, but if you don't do it this exact way, then fuck you, you're gonna lose the mission.
Right.
God, that's
And
Oh,
it's like,
man.
oh, why? Why would they do that?
Yeah.
And then, but the worst part by far is the story. The story, I know this has been gone over a lot, especially this scene I'm going to bring up, but the story is fucking offensively stupid. Because they're trying to do this thing where it's like, you're just this normal guy, and then you get this magic tattoo from these black people,
Right.
and then you have magic powers, and you start loving violence, and you lose your humanity. And they're like so heavy-handed and stupid about it. There's this one
Right.
mission where, and your character barely talks, and he doesn't display any personality before this point at all. He has no personality, blank slate, which is fine for an open world game. That's a good idea, right? And then you rescue your girlfriend from a bad situation. You get into a car, and you're like, "Here, you drive. I'll hold him off." And then you find an infinite grenade launcher in the back, and just start blowing dudes up. And it's like multi-kill, which also has never been seen before. Like, it's not like, it's very rare to get a multi-kill over the course of the game, but you're just blowing up whole jeeps full of people. And he's like, "Yeah! Did you see that explosion? Woo!" And your girlfriend's just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And you're supposed to, like, be empathizing with your main character, be like, "Yeah, this is cool, but I'm empathizing with the girlfriend." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" You know,
Right.
like, why is this suddenly a thing? Because
Mm.
he hasn't shown any indication of loving violence before, and then suddenly it's like projecting the player onto the character and trying to make you feel as if you have made a decision to offend your girlfriend by saying these things, when you had no input in that whatsoever. It just told you, pick up this grenade launcher, blow up some cars, and then it told you that was wrong.
Yeah, well, that
It-
sounds like what Hotline Miami tried to do as well.
Yeah, kind of.
Trying to explain like why the violence
Similar.
is bad, but I mean, then they maybe the developers of Far Cry had like an inkling that was something that they wanted to do, but then they had to homogenize it so that people would play it, because you got to do that now in video games because there's so much writing on them all the time. Same thing happens in movies where it's just like,
Yeah.
movies aren't really about anything anymore. They're just
Sure.
a series of explosions that pretend. But isn't it also like a Tyler Durden kind of thing, like Fight Club thing? Like that's what I gathered.
In Far Cry
from-
3?
Yeah, that's what I gathered from
Not-
the trailers and stuff.
Not that I've seen yet, but I'm not that far into the mission.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
that's the other
ev-
thing, though. Apparently, at some point, you have to unlock a second island, and the way they do that is so silly. It doesn't even tell you on the map that, like, you can't go past this line. I was just like, hey, I wonder if I can get to that radio tower, and I hopped on a boat and started going over there, and it's like, hang on, buddy, you can't go there yet. Turn around. I was like, oh, come on. Like, just give me a reason. Like, put a blockade there
yeah.
or something. You know, there's just
GTA
nothing.
did
There's
that
the open
too.
water. Just open
Yeah.
water. It's like, no, you can't go there yet. Hang on, do more story
You were
missions.
supposed to see that. No.
Yeah,
Go back,
yeah,
please.
fuck you. Oh, and that's the other thing. The story artificially limits your progress a lot. Like you have a skill point progression where you can get more skills as you level up, and then at a certain point, like you have to do a certain number of story missions before you unlock certain skills. To unlock with skill points that you get. So like I just had that's what eventually got me doing the story missions. Was that I unlocked all of the skills I could currently get, and I assumed that would unlock more, but it was like, nope, got to do some story missions. I was like, oh, come on.
What game did
So
that
I just-
too? Like some other game recently did that had that as like a barrier. Might have been like Crackdown 2 or something. Like I don't know, but yeah, I mean that's just bad game design. It's like you don't incentivize me playing the story by forcing me to play the story. You incentivize it by the game being fun and me wanting to play the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's something else I wanted to talk about. Is the one thing that I'm not so into about Far Cry, even the part that I do like, where you're going around killing animals, having a great time, is that never at any point do I feel like I can't do that. You know, there's never a thing that I can't access, except
Right.
like really artificial stuff. Like I feel like it's really important and this is gonna sound counterintuitive, but in an open world game, I feel like it's really important for there to be things that you literally are incapable of doing, not because the game says you can't, but because they are impossible for a character of your level. So that you have to go and do other things, because that makes the world feel bigger. You know,
right.
if there's something you can't just go to right away, and this is a problem I had with Skyrim too, If you can just go through the entire map and everything's scaled to your level, then the map feels tiny because there's nothing interesting about it. I can just go everywhere and experience it all.
Hey, wait. Those giants were friggin' hard to kill.
But they aren't aggressive. They aren't aggressive. You don't have to worry about it. It's not like there's a place guarded by giants that I really want to get to.
They're
like,
aggressive.
Let me give you an example. In Morrowind, the reason that game was so interesting to me was that I just wandered out into the jungle and I was killing things, and then I encountered a cliff racer, and that thing just fucked my shit up. And the cliff racers essentially made it so that I could not pass a certain mountain until I leveled up enough to be able to kill them.
Right. Well, here's...
And I know now that that's not totally accurate.
You say that the giants weren't aggressive, but when I fired arrows at them, they fucking killed the crap out of me.
That's a fair point. Well, I think what has happened in video games is I think a lot of game developers have become very complacent because, like, for instance, right, like RPGs, right, which is elements of RPGs are now in every game, like you said in Far Cry 3, which is a fucking open world shooter, which world started in RPGs. Totally. And you have a skill tree, so I mean everything is getting elements of RPGs now. But in early RPGs like D&D and stuff like that, you would have like a bow and arrow skill, right? And you can only do that because you're not physically harnessing a bow and arrow and shooting it, right? And video games did that too in the early days because you can't really physically force a player to like in the early days anyway, like say like Ultima Online, you would just have a dice roll or something, or something like that because that's the only way you could do it. But now I think we have the technology where we can make characters and make enemies more difficult based on how skilled you have become in the game, like to make it entirely on Twitch skill as opposed to doing it.
And a lot of games do that.
Yeah, but not the big games. I mean, Far Cry 3, it's never like you get that much better at the game, so you're better at the game, right? Same with Skyrim.
Well,
like, you never get that much better at doing any of the aspects of the combat or anything like that, so that you get naturally better at defeating enemies. We just become complacent in that idea that like, oh, this is gonna do so and so damage. Like Borderlands is a good example, where it's just like I'm just getting more and more powerful guns, as opposed to I'm getting better with the guns, and the enemies are getting more difficult to fight because their patterns are different, not because they have more health and more damage and all that. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. I think we're at the point where we could break those limitations, but we choose not to because we're complacent in them.
I don't really agree with that. There are plenty of games like look at just a generic first-person shooter like the Call of Duty series. That's you don't have a character progression in the single player of that. It starts you off with easy groups of enemies, and then it moves you onto hard groups of enemies.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm saying like the games with RPG like elements, like a Far Cry now, and like where we have skill levels and stuff. Like just because you were talking about Morrowind, how I still feel like that artificial block that you had when the game was just like, no, you can't go there, is more or less the same idea with something. Like I always felt it was shitty in a game. Like I understand that I could be underleveled. Like say World of Warcraft. When I used to play World of Warcraft when I was younger. I could be way more skilled at playing the game than some guy who's higher level than me, but just simply because he's put in more time, he can wreck me in one shot. That seems silly to me. That doesn't seem like good game design to me. So like I'd rather not have a high level enemy that is undefeatable. I'd like to if I could go in with shitty armor and still beat anything in the game, if I was good enough, I would be happy with that game. But
honestly speaking, I'm also of the camp that I should find a high-level enemy that can just beat my ass into the ground. Because once I come back, and then I'm stronger, then say, yeah, what do you think of that now, bitch?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, but I still think it's artificial, though, to, like, be like, oh, this guy's just level 80, so he can one-shot you, as opposed to, he's really good at fighting or something.
Well, it sounds like you just don't like RPG games, which is fine.
No, I love RPG games. I'm just saying that there's limitations
you
that
like
are artificial
RPG
now.
games, and yet you don't want RPG elements in that high-level enemies can beat the shit out of a level 1.
No, I'm saying that levels in and of themselves are only limitations of pen and paper. Like they're not really there anymore.
Okay, what is
you know-
your definition of an RPG?
Oh no!
A role-playing
are we going
game.
to open this can of worms?
Well,
It's a role-playing
okay,
game.
Yeah, okay, so we're
Yeah.
not really, just in terms of, we're not just saying role-playing game, we're saying the specific type of role-playing game where your character levels up from doing things, and then you get the satisfaction of, like, growing this character and
I don't
killing
know.
people.
Here's an example of what I mean. You have Zelda, which has been an RPG for a long time. It's always been an RPG. You know, there's no levels in Zelda except if you count Zelda 2. But I mean, you could beat any enemy in the game from level 1. You just would have a hard time doing it if you were thrown up against someone who's very difficult.
Well-
you know what I mean?
There are dungeons you can't get through without the right item, which is the
Yeah,
same
but
sort
that's-
of artificial limitation.
Well, not really. I mean, it's not just like arbitrary, like, oh, your bow skill is, or my lockpicking skill is not high enough to lockpick this, so I can't
No,
even
it's-
attempt it.
Instead, it's your hookshot level is 0. You can't come in here. Go level up your hookshot skill by doing this other dungeon.
Yeah, but I mean that's
My
I'm
biggest
saying
problem with
purely
RPGs,
on the combat. What?
my
Is
biggest
that you
problem
don't
with
understand
RPGs
numbers.
is that you can't
Don't
do
understand the what?
nice things to them to defeat them.
Yeah.
You can't like go
Cam
up to
solves
them.
all problems with friendship and enjoyment.
Seriously,
there need to
I
be-
want to go up to
There
them and
needs
be
to
like,
be a
"Hey,
new
man,
class of RPG. We've got Western and Japanese RPGs. We need Canadian RPGs.
Yes. Where you say sorry to everyone.
I just want to go up to him and be like, "Hey, man, you're obviously pretty ornery right now. Can you just calm down?
Hey, just chill out, man. Just chill out.
Let's just talk this through. Let's just have a conversation right now, instead of crushing me with your giant clubs while I fire arrows at your face. That's not fun."
I like how he went back to the Giants again.
You got a thing against those giants, don't you?
Yeah.
Those giants were assholes, and so were their mammoths.
Oh,
man.
but
I'm trying
Rob,
picture
to come
that
back
game.
to what we were talking about earlier, I think there's room for all of these different kinds of game. Like the kind of game you're talking about, I think, is like Dark Souls.
To a degree, yeah.
Are you correct?
Yeah.
Because like people could beat Dark Souls at level 1, but it's
Right.
hard as fuck.
Exactly.
Yes, I still
really
there
hard.
should be. I think the games can be melded a little better than they are.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be so black and white to where
Totally.
your only limitation is levels, as opposed to there should be some kind of limitation in terms of skill as well. That
Yeah.
you could either try something at a lower level and beat them with your skill, or if you don't have the skill, you can go get the level and then do it. But
Right.
it just seems like there's none of that in RPGs.
That's what I mean. I mean, like we were complaining now that like games. Oh well, Far Cry is too easy. Well, I mean, then have harder enemy types than ones that
Totally.
just run around.
Yeah.
It's
I
and that's
really
what I mean.
wish.
That's,
You know what I
that's
want
why
in Far
like Dark
Cry?
Souls.
Fucking
What?
dinosaurs.
Yeah, that'd be badass. Oh
I think
my
someone
God.
I saw read a post that was like, modders out there, make it happen, and there's just
Yeah.
picture of
Oh,
Far
if it was
Cry
just
3 and
Jurassic
dinosaurs.
Park, that would be like the most badass thing ever.
Yeah, I think
That would be
the
pretty-
hardest enemy in Far Cry is like a bear, and it's not even that hard. You just have to sneak up on it and be far away and shoot it multiple times as it comes at you, and then it dies.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well,
it.
I guess it
Sounds like a
depends on the
strategy for
bad.
I mean,
everything.
I don't mind that so much either though. Like if it's like you see a bear and then it mauls the shit out of you and tears off your face, but then you learn how to exploit it other times. Like I'm okay
Well,
with that too.
the thing is, it took me exactly one bear engagement to learn how to not get my face mauled off. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'll never do that again.
that's
then it
getting
was
Twitter
easy.
quoted
Like,
right now.
bears pose no threat to me ever since the first time one killed me, and that's the same
Right,
with all
right.
animals in Far Cry.
Yeah.
Do you know
all
what-
of them.
Do you know what I want to see? I want to see a video game where it's dinosaurs mixed with the future. So you can outfit your dinosaur with like future lasers and missiles and shit and fight other dinosaurs.
Sure, there's a
That'd be a
game
good
like
game.
that. Already.
That actually sounds pretty
Yeah,
awesome. Man.
Orion Dino
It is.
Beatdown is similar, except that
Yeah.
you have the lasers, the dinosaurs don't.
And the game's terrible.
And the game is fucking awful. But I mean, it's a game that Cam suggested, so.
Primal
Yeah.
Carnage looked cool. Is that what it was?
What was it?
Primal Carnage?
Primal Carnage? Oh
No,
my
Primal,
god, Primal Carnage.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on that fucking game. It's awful.
Was it bad? It seemed pretty cool.
It's really bad. It's super unbalanced. Like, there's no balance in
Oh
that
yeah,
game
I heard
whatsoever.
that. Yeah.
The dinosaurs, like, humans are fucking defenseless in that game. The dinosaurs
Yeah.
take way too long to kill, and they can sneak up on you really easily. So
Mhm.
like if you aren't aware of a dinosaur behind you, it will kill the shit out of you. Whereas if you are aware of a dinosaur that is not aware of you, you can start shooting at it, and it has time to notice you're shooting at it and run at you and kill you.
It's the
so
Matrix
fucked up.
dinosaur.
Yeah,
That's pretty silly.
Yeah, I really didn't like Primal Carnage. It was a good idea. I wanted to like it, but I didn't. You know what's
I still
better
wanna
than that,
try it.
though? It's fucking
What's up?
Natural Selection 2.
Oh, I still want to try that game.
That is a fucking great game.
I
good
played
things
the
about it.
shit out of the original. Like, I just my computer
Oh,
can't
did you
run
really?
the second one. Yeah. The original was great. I played a lot of Half-Life mods back in the day. There were a lot of really great ones. And Natural Selection was like at the top of the list because it was also like an esports game. And yeah, no, Natural Selection 1 was great back in the day. It was a really good time. And they haven't really changed much for Natural Selection 2. I mean, they basically just it's on UDK, right? It's on the Unreal Engine now?
Natural Selection 2?
Yeah.
They made their own engine. It's
They
on
made
the
their
Spark
own.
engine.
Okay, so that's why
Yeah.
then, yeah. Yeah, but not much has changed between the first and second game. But I mean, there was a lot of really great. See, like that's one of those things too. It's just like is like not to segue out of Natural Selection, but I mean just modding in general. I don't know why any game developer does not allow for modding. There's like, oh no, you're supposed to play our game this way because I mean.
Yeah.
You look at fucking DayZ. That's it. That's all you got to do. That's the good
Exactly.
example right there. 500% increase of sales on Arma 2 as soon as DayZ came out. So I don't know why you would not allow mod support. It's such a silly idea.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, in this day and age, there's no way a developer shouldn't have the message of mod support is a good idea after watching what happened to Arma 2 after DayZ came out.
Right.
Like that game, how old was that game when DayZ came out? Years old,
Yeah,
and it got to
it
the
was
top
like a
of
year
the
old,
Steam
yeah.
bestseller list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean it's crazy. I don't see. It's impossible to imagine why you wouldn't want it. But I mean, it's also impossible to imagine why Capcom takes down like Mega Man videos because free marketing. Ooh, take it down.
Yep.
So
Okay,
Yeah, it's
people-
really silly.
Sorry to interrupt, but people in the chat are saying that Pokemon and Digimon are better than each other. I just want to say, the Digimon story is much better than the Pokemon story, but
Yes.
the Pokemon games are so much better than the Digimon games.
were
Have
there
you written
even
a
Digimon
fanfiction?
games?
There, I don't know. They had like cards and like I don't even know. I think I played a Digimon game once, but I don't remember it because it was a piece of crap. I
Yeah.
didn't like it. The Pokemon game is that kind of game to end all games.
Oh man, I kind of want to see Cam play a Pokemon game on his channel now. I think that would be really interesting.
Oh god.
Wait a minute. Okay, people are saying that I don't like any games except Isaac and Morrowind. I don't know where you guys are getting that idea. I've actually mentioned several games that I like. Did I talk about a game just now that besides Far Cry 3 that I had negative opinions on?
God,
I think
Green 9090, you're just so
you just-
close-minded.
God,
Oh,
Green
yeah,
is
there's
the
Primal
most
Carnage as
cynical
well.
man ever. Jeez.
Yeah, you just hate everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're
Ah.
bringing up bad games.
Yeah.
That's how
I mean,
this
it's not
is
like
working.
well, it's not
That's
like just
okay, I
bringing up
hate
bad
everything
games.
too.
When you analyze a game, you tend to have to focus on the negatives because you
Sure.
you accept the positives, right? Like I'm sure you're still having a great time like with the GTA, like right? Like I had a great time with GTA, but I'm not going to talk about the great things that I did in GTA because you guys all know those great things. You had those same experiences. I'd rather know what's wrong with the game so that the next GTA game could be better,
Sure.
you know?
hmm
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, to switch, if we're still talking about bad games, another interest. I don't know how the chat will react, but have any of you guys played Skyward Sword? I know Rob hasn't,
Nah.
but Green,
Nope.
did you get a chance to play
Nope.
I played some Skyward Sword. I really didn't like it. I have a feeling the chat's going to be angry at me.
that? No, it's actually I made a video about it. It's a bad game.
Yeah.
It's a pretty bad game, Skyward Sword. It just does a lot of things wrong. That I'm just staring at the chat, waiting for people to start reading.
Hang on,
Well,
hang on.
okay.
We're bringing up bad games, all mainstream acclaimed games. Excuse me, Primal Carnage is not a mainstream acclaimed game. What are you talking about?
Okay, but to touch on the Zelda note, to kind of save you from all this hate here, Austin, I started playing my first Zelda game today because I'd never played it before. I'd just seen other people play it, and I couldn't even get through the first little bit because I got tired of
Oh,
reading.
people are going to be so mad at you.
Oh
This
yeah,
motherfucker-
don't badmouth an old.
I'm not saying,
This
I'm not saying
motherfucker-
it's bad.
Hold on, Cam,
This
which
motherfucker-
game?
Just illiterate.
This is Wind
Yeah,
Waker.
which game was it?
Wind
The
Waker,
intro
okay.
to Wind Waker.
Wind Waker?
Yeah.
Why would you,
You
start
guys-
with Wind Waker?
Do you guys remember the intro to Wind Waker? It was so
It's like the
fucking
best
good.
thing
That
ever.
Never played it.
awesome, that awesome music was playing, and
Yeah.
you read the story from Ocarina of Time, and you're like,
Yep.
yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that
and Cam got
whole-
halfway through that and was like, this is boring, and turned it off. I can't even.
Although I will
was-
say, well, yeah, go on.
I was just I was doing like 1,000 things at once, and Rob was like, "Start playing that right now. Start playing it." And I was like, "Oh, yes, sir." And so I opened it up, and Rob obviously doesn't realize that I have severe attention deficit disorder.
No, really.
I cannot pay attention to something for more than 5 minutes if it's not like completely enthralling me.
Well, you need to understand that Zelda games have a tendency for long intros. With
not
every
even
game
that
that
long.
comes out, the intro gets longer.
I don't know
Not necessarily
why.
cutscene intros, but like tutorials and pre-game stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Link's-
Skyward Sword took like 40 minutes just so you could get to the main
Twilight
area.
Princess was
It's
awful
bad.
too. Because
Twilight
of
Princess
that.
was bad, but Skyward Sword was worse. It
Yeah.
takes like nearly an hour to get
Actually-
to the main story.
Fable 1 was the worst of all of those, my god. But when it comes to just tutorializing everything and not starting the game proper, it took me like an hour and a half to get into the
Oh
game.
my god.
Man.
Christ.
I don't think
Yeah.
games understand like movies, TV shows. They totally understand the first 10 minutes of a video game are the most important part. That's the hook, right? Like that's you getting into the game, not like hey, why don't you read all this stuff and not do anything that's cool? Like that's not how you get people to keep playing. Like we only play like you played Far Cry 3, you played through that shitty ass tutorial. I played through the shitty tutorial in Twilight Princess because I know that the game is going to be awesome later. But like if you're trying to get an audience that doesn't play video games, a shitty ass tutorial is not going to be the one that gets them. And you know what's funny is that's the thinking, right? It's like you over tutorialize to get the people who don't know how to play video games. But that's the opposite. You want a hook. You want something awesome. But
Totally. Yeah, to go back to what you were saying earlier about the movie writers coming into video games, I think that's exactly what happened with Far Cry 3. Because cinematically, the Far Cry 3 intro could be considered interesting in a hook, but gameplay-wise, it is not. There's like, let's just make all this fucking awesome shit happen, and then you're like, I'm playing through a linear, terrible tutorial, and you don't care when you're playing a video game. You don't care about the same things as when you're watching a movie, and that's what they don't get.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Nope.
Okay.
Totally agree.
Yeah. So
well.
anyway, what were we talking about? Skyward Sword. Let's talk about why
that's
that
right,
game is
yeah.
terrible.
Well, I guess I'll elaborate then. I talked for like 40 minutes on this, but it just, Zelda games have a formula, and every Zelda game pretty much has followed that formula, and Skyward Sword follows that formula as well. But it does so many things in between wrong that it ruins the fun of the game.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what a fetch quest is, I assume. It's a bad thing you don't want to do. If you're getting into game design, fetch quests, not good. You want to try to disguise a fetch quest as best as you can, because it's generally always what you do in the games. You go get something, but you want to make it not seem like you're actually doing that. Skyward Sword, on multiple occasions, between every dungeon, and even in dungeons, tells you just to go get something and bring it back to where you are. And it grinds on you. By the end, you're just like, I can't do this again. It gets very old within halfway through the game, and then you still have way more to go anyway. And you just, it's bad. And not only that, but the fact that it actually deviated from the formula in that Zelda games, you had like places you could go you had like the first part of the game and the second part of the game. Every Zelda game has two parts to it, where usually the first 3 dungeons and then the last 6 or 7 dungeons. That's generally the formula.
Yeah. And you do the first 3 dungeons and then everything changes.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's a really good gameplay mechanic.
Totally,
Zelda does right. But Skyward Sword, instead of introducing all these new things, was like, okay, you beat the first 3 dungeons. Here's 3 new dungeons. They're all in the same places as the other dungeons, just slightly moved. Go ahead and go through the areas you've already been through, and you'll find the new dungeons. And here's some fetch quests to do in between.
Yeah.
It's like, but what? I wanted to see what was new. There's nothing new?
Yeah.
Nope.
I didn't even make it that far.
Yeah, even better is that after you do those 3, it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm ready to go do the final part of the game. Oh, wait. Here's another fetch quest that doesn't even have dungeons, and you still have to go back and do the old 3 areas. And
it didn't do the
things
Wind
there.
Waker thing, did it?
No, you don't. It's not. You have to go find the Triforce. You have to go
but
collect it.
It's similar.
It is similar. You have to go find 3 parts of a song,
I can't believe they could make that error again.
And it's a little better done that you don't just go get them. There are things to do to get them, but it doesn't help.
Yeah.
It still doesn't help.
Right.
It's still
a fetch
it
quest.
feels the game is like 60% filler and 40% Zelda. And again, there I could continue to go on. There's so many things wrong with the game. Like the only reason I don't say it's a fucking terrible game is because it's still Zelda. It still has all the Zelda charm. It's just everything else about it is horrible.
Yeah, it's like Die Hard 4. It's like Die Hard movies were amazing, but even the shitty ones, they're not good movies, but it's still Die Hard. Indiana Jones the same way too.
I feel the exact same way about the late Halos in the Halo series. It's just literally, I loved the first Halo and the second Halo, and then after that, like, Halo 3 was like, oh yeah, you're kind of spreading yourself too thin here. And then it went on to, like, Halo Reach, and it was like, okay, well, this isn't, you're not even playing as Master Chief anymore.
It's right there in the title, they're reaching. That was the pitch. It was like, man, we really have to reach to figure out something new to do with Halo. Hey!
Stretch.
That's it, kid, you got it!
That's the title.
But then with Halo 4, it was pretty cool because they started adding, like, the cool elements back into it again. But it still had, like, kind of, I hate to say it, but it had a really weak story for me. It just was not satisfying as a huge Halo fan. I mean, they had the cool things where it's like, oh, now Cortana's all hot and she has bigger boobies.
Yeah, that's important.
Like, that was great.
We were talking about game mechanics and like what's wrong with like fetch quests and stuff, and it's like, yeah, there's a great game mechanic with Cortana's giant tits. Like that's just they should play that on the back of the box. It's feature.
Yeah, that would be a great back of the box quote. Much bigger tits on Cortana would play again.
30%
Thumbs
larger.
up.
Titty physics.
IGN.com. These are the biggest titties I've ever seen. Dun-dun-dun.
The second biggest after Dead or Alive.
Yeah, they would have to pay IGN like $100,000 to put that on the box, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
That's a
I'm
whole
not even gonna get into Halo ODST because that is not a part of the fucking Halo series. Everyone who hasn't played Halo and I talk to them about Halo, they're always like, oh yeah, Halo ODST, that was my favorite one of the Halos, and it's like that's not. Okay, that's a different game. Like Halo Reach was bad because I know it's the prequel to the whole Halo series, and you're still playing as a Spartan, so I guess I can allow it. But Halo ODST, you're just playing as a human. This isn't Halo anymore. This is not Master Chief, and I love Master Chief like a father. He raised me.
ODST had a good story, but it was really slow. I mean, I found myself just the game drags really badly. As opposed to other Halo games, you know. In a game where your goal is shoot things, action pack, bam! And ODST is like, oh, it's raining. There's an enemy. Just go ahead and kill him. And let's move on here. It's very slow.
Yeah, well, I think they wanted to do like the stealth thing, but then they didn't, and they were like, well, we gotta want to do open world, but it's just like, well, but the Halo fans are gonna, let's do a little bit of this to make the Halo fans happy and do a little bit, and they just didn't know what they were, really, with ODST. It was like half Halo, half anything else. Yeah. I don't know. I never played too much Halo games in general, though, to be honest.
Never played through a Halo game right here.
Really?
I mean,
I played through Halo 1 and 3.
If you like, 1 through 3 has a great story, great campaign. Even though you are just ending up shooting things, it is a great experience.
I totally
especially
agree.
Halo 3.
Like,
You guys, just throwing this out there, if you copy and paste the same annoying question over and over and over again, I'm not going to answer it. I'm sorry.
It's alright, Cam will answer it.
Yeah.
Do we want to do questions again, or not this time? Like, I mean, later on in this.
I don't know. How long are we right now? I fucked up my recording.
We are at about 54 minutes. Let me have a look at my...
Okay.
Whoa, really?
Well, the actual recording is like 49 minutes.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, it's like, oh, I might have missed some stuff.
Yeah, so if we're going to do questions, we have to probably...
I don't mean now specifically. I just mean a lot of people are asking questions,
Yeah.
and I feel like if you just want to save the questions for later, we'll do them later.
Well, I mean, I could start collecting questions, and we could do a lightning round in a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah, you start copying.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're going to ask a question, ask it once, just once, and Cam will collect them for later. So that'll be a little more streamlined. So we don't have...
him the question.
Okay, yep. I'm going to say something here.
Okay.
So,
So at the risk of sounding way too cynical, do you guys want to try to think of a game that we do like to talk about?
No, fuck video
we
games.
can talk about all the other Zelda games. Those are all
there we go.
great.
I hate video games. Brr.
Sleeping Dogs was pretty good, but I haven't even finished the DLC yet.
I still haven't played it.
I still haven't picked that up. I thought about it and then I didn't. 'Cause
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
way too much other shit to play.
yeah. That's always the problem with Steam sales, isn't it? But just
Yeah.
in general. But yeah, Sleeping Dogs was the game I was looking forward to because I'm such an old school kung fu movie fan.
Mhm.
You know,
Me too.
like the Master of the
Yep.
Flying Guillotine and
Yeah.
Jackie Chan movies, and that it's just right up my alley. So definitely, if you're in that, yeah, you should have bought Sleeping Dogs by now.
Well,
My God,
Totally.
Did you
What's
guys
up?
ever play the old true crime games? Because that game is technically a sequel to the true crime games, True Crime Streets of L.A. and Streets of New York.
no.
Oh yeah, I'd heard that. I haven't played them though.
Oh, those
Yeah.
are awesome games. I mean, New York was awful and unfinished. The game literally had more glitches than it had. Like you would find more glitches than you would not find glitches, if that makes sense. But it was
so it's like a
fucking
Bethesda
awesome.
game, is what you're saying.
Yeah, right. Well, worse, much worse. It's totally unfinished. So
Oh,
but you could do awesome things like blow up people, and then they would dismember and explode, and then you
Whoa,
could take
whoa, hang on. A game where you can blow people up?
Yeah, no.
Whoa.
But here's
I gotta pick
here's
this
the
up.
little thing. You can take their body parts and beat the shit out of other people with their body
Oh
parts.
man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you got me. Sold.
Yeah, it was amazing. and
That's
it was
pretty
similar
good.
to Sleeping Dogs, except I haven't played Sleeping Dogs, but I hear that the emphasis is on the kung fu type of stuff. In the old true crime games, it was like especially the original one, because you couldn't hold like a rifle or anything. Like you could pick it up and shoot it, but the only thing that you could keep with you is your pistols. True Crime New York allowed you to carry more guns and stuff, and you would carry it in your trunk and stuff. But you would also unlock new fighting styles. I don't know. Does Sleeping Dogs have new fighting styles that you can unlock over
They
time?
don't have new fighting styles. Like the Wei Shen, he only fights in a kung fu style, in a specific
okay.
kung fu style. I mean, he does. If you buy the DLC, I mean, you could learn drunken style, which is not as awesome as it sounds. Really, it's just a power up, and there's some elements of Wing Chun in his fighting style, but it's just basically one fighting style.
Yeah. See, that's kind of. I mean, like the old games, you would get like Muay Thai and get like all these different
Really,
types of things. Yeah.
that
no,
is
it was
so
great.
cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a lot of fun, and I was super excited for this game because it was originally called True Crime Hong Kong, but then
Right.
whatchamacallit, the company went under, and Eidos picked them up.
Yeah,
Or
who bought
picked
it?
them up?
Who published it?
I think it was Square
Enix. Yeah,
Yeah,
Square
Square
Enix.
Enix.
Ah, yeah,
actually.
it was Square Enix. That's right.
Yeah,
Right, right.
Squeenix picked them up, yeah. And but yeah, and so I was excited that the game was still coming out. I still haven't played it though, but I do own it technically, so I will be playing it. in
Yeah, it's one of
future.
those games that's like right on the edge of me wanting to play it.
I would say wait for it to get cheaper. I mean, I get more entertainment out of it myself, personally, again, because I used to practice Kung Fu, and I'm an old school Kung Fu movie fanatic, almost. But, you know, I can understand that some people would say, oh, yeah, it's just an other open world game with good combat, you know.
Sure. Yeah, how does the combat feel? Does it, as somebody who knows kung fu, is it satisfying?
It's
Wait.
Well,
Zen knows kung fu?
Of course,
A little
Zen
bit,
knows
not
Kung
that
Fu.
much.
He's
I mean,
Asian.
come on.
You dingus?
No, I'm not just saying that. I'm just saying it because he's Zen. Like that's he. Just,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure he knows how
what
to
do you
fly a
expect him to go
helicopter.
through the jungle with tigers and not know kung fu?
yeah,
yeah,
seriously.
that's why, that was my
Climbed
childhood.
He's
Mount
got to be able
Fuji
to
and
rip
met
off
them.
their bottom jaw and beat the shit out of them with it. He'd never come out alive.
Yeah, really.
No,
Jeez Louise.
no, it's just, I mean, the combat is fluid. You know, it's a little button mashy. I mean, you can play it button mashy if you want to, and the game is skills on the easy side. Let's not be,
Sure.
let's actually be
Yeah.
very accurate about it. The
I
game
mean, it
is
is
quite
really-
easy.
It's a mainstream video game. It's always going to be
Yeah.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah. But but the combat is fluid. I don't have any other thing to compare it to. I've heard that it compares to Batman, but I've never played Batman, so I
Huh.
wouldn't know. You know, if that makes any sense
That's
to
cool. Yeah, but the Batman games have like one of the best combat systems ever, and a lot of games emulate them. And pretty glad
I'm
about
sorry,
that because the combat system.
What games have the best combat systems? You broke up entirely.
Yeah, Batman.
I'm sorry.
I think you said.
Batman. Yeah.
Oh, Batman's. Yeah.
Yeah. Those have amazing combat systems that are a lot of fun because it's a mix between like real combat, like an Assassin's Creed type combat that's like really visceral and intense, and then also it's got like arcade style, so like you have combo build ups
Right.
and stuff. So it's like half God of War, half Assassin's Creed. And it does a very good job, and it's very simple. Like it's very simple and easy, but it's one of those things that's easy to learn, hard to master, which is really great because the game is just as difficult as you want it to be, which I think.
Right. That's exactly what Sleeping Dogs is like. Actually, I would compare Wei Shen's fighting style to a really violent, extremely violent Jackie Chan. Okay, so it's like modern style kung fu fighting, and once in a while you can stick a guy onto a swordfish.
Oh yeah, I've seen. There's all kinds of like object
Environmental
finishers,
kills,
huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
and you're encouraged
cool.
to do that because it's an instant kill if you manage to pull one off. So and all that. If you get mobbed, you actually can. If you don't take hits, you actually can die. So it is there. The game provides some encouragement to do these really gruesome environmental kills, like frying the guy on a skillet. Well, that doesn't happen. You guys get one. Frying a guy on a skillet.
That's always.
You put them in a big cauldron, and then you have to go with fetch quest, get some onions and garlic.
Then it turns into Cooking Mama.
Yeah.
exactly. Find some truffle, stuff in his mouth, and stuff it him into an
Yeah,
oven.
exactly. You get a little mini game where you have to slice the onions and the carrots and shit.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And then you
It's
eat
a
them for
great
health.
game.
exactly. Like stuff a jellyfish into his eyes and watch him die from the poison. That's an environment.
Oh,
not
Jesus.
really. Not in the game.
Oh god.
That would be awful.
Jesus. That's some jungle wisdom. # jungle wisdom from Zen there. Right there.
I've actually been stung by a jellyfish, guys. I know what I'm talking about.
Of course you have.
Yeah, that's not fun.
It's true. I'm not even kidding.
But have you
No.
killed a man with a jellyfish?
No, I have not killed a man with a jellyfish. I wonder if it's possible. I'm sure. I mean, you need to have
Oh,
wear a
it
pair of
depends on
gloves,
the
of course.
jellyfish.
What?
There are deadly jellyfish. It just depends on the jellyfish.
Yes. One of my
you're
friends got stung by one, and she almost died.
Oh
so-
fuck.
Oh,
jeez.
That's not funny, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
you
way to
like
kill the mood,
you
Zen.
like grabbed her and put her on a motorcycle and carried her and like had to fight off tigers as you got her to the hospital, right?
yeah, that's exactly what I did. Okay, so
Yeah.
let me tell you. Right? She got stung by a jellyfish. I picked her up. Okay, I ran across the jungle and chopped a tree down and turned it into a canoe, with my bare hands. And then I
With
swam.
your bare hands, using like kung fu like chi.
Exactly.
Just slice
I
through
was
the wood.
using my
Yeah,
inner
perfect.
energy. I was using my Tai Chi skills, And then after that, I put her into my improvised canoe, and then I swam. We rowed across the sea to the other island, right? Because I was badass enough to be able to break through the other island without having the game tell me I couldn't go there. And then after that, I couldn't find the hospital, right? So I said, "Oh my god!" And looking at her face, I could see an indicator in my eyes: 96% chance of death within the next half hour if I cannot save her right now.
So you
Right?
sucked the poison out?
No. I didn't suck the
okay.
poison out. Oh, no. That's too easy because,
Okay,
if
right,
I sucked the poison out, then she would probably stay alive, but then she'll be a cripple. No. I went and I went into the jungle again because that's my natural habitat. And then after
Right.
that, I dug up some herbal plants, like some ginseng. After that, I went and also I killed a bear to get his gallbladder. Then I mixed it up together in my mouth. And then I kissed her. I kissed her, and then she
Oh,
woke
man.
up, and I said, "You know what? That was just a one-time deal. That was just one time. It will never happen again."
Everybody
And
gets
she
one.
said, "Yeah." She agreed, and
Everybody
then
gets
after that,
one
I
Zen
came to
rescue.
America, met Cyrene. That's the end of my story.
Oh man. This is
Wow.
best
Wow.
comment of all time. Far Cry 4, the Zen story.
Oh man, that
Yeah,
needs to happen.
seriously.
That is
Oh,
Ooh, I'd play
that's
that
not
game.
a true story, guys. I mean, I will hope
Yeah.
you guys don't think that's a true story.
They all blend together now. Zen.
Really?
hashtag Zen facts.
Zen fact.
We need to upgrade that to hashtag Zen stories.
Yeah, really.
Because that's just great.
The stuff about having a bear in that I talked about in one of my Binding of Isaac episodes, that is true though. That part is true.
Yeah, the bear in the cage.
Yeah, the bear in the cage.
Yeah.
I can never tell a story around you. I just can't. They all suck. All of my stories just suck compared to your stories.
Man, the more I think about it, I just going back and cataloging all these stories, like things that happened in my childhood, which I never told anyone not because they were bad or anything, it's just that they just seemed mundane at the time that wasn't worth retelling. And
Oh yeah, Dad brought home a
Wait,
crocodile,
wait.
whatever.
Yeah, it seemed mundane, and there was a bear in a cage involved.
yeah, my dad caught a bear.
Yeah, he just had a little zoo. It's no big deal.
Caught
Bear
a bear.
hands.
Caught a bear. I thought it was just like, oh, well, we bought a bear because, whatever. It's just, he caught a bear. How does
It's
one
either
catch a
him
bear?
or his, it's either
Completely
him or his
naked
workers.
so that it was a fair fight, right?
You
That's
have
what
to
I imagine.
seduce him first.
I don't know. I wasn't there, I just came back from Singapore one day and there was like a bear in a cage. And,
Oh, I figured like the bear ate you and then he cut you out of its stomach.
And that's the story of how Zen was born.
yeah,
That's how
born
Zen got his
again.
powers.
yeah, that's the most fucked up, like, immaculate birth I've ever heard of, cut it out of a bear cesarean section.
That definitely sounds like an origin story for a Greek god. Like
The child was
just
eaten by
Zeus
the
is
bear.
fucking around and has sex with the bear, and then the bear like wanders into a town and they kill it and cut it open and there's a baby inside and then it's a god baby that's part bear. That's exactly
baby.
that would fit in complete. I wouldn't be surprised at all if I found out that was a Greek myth.
Yeah, if we ever become emperors, all of us, we have to make some sweet propaganda origin stories. First.
Yeah, yeah, we should.
Become emperors.
Like King Jong.
Well, we already have Zen, so
yeah, right.
Yeah, Zen's done.
Where to go?
But the rest of us are gonna need to be a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
I'm not that much of a badass, guys. I'm like a level 2 badass. That's all.
Level
Level 2
badass.
badass. That's level
Yeah.
2. I'm probably like level negative 69 in that.
Oh, my dad. No,
Yeah.
my dad was a badass. But I really talk too much about this.
Oh god, Zen Dad the God. We were talking about.
Right, yeah, of
pretty
course, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one who can just disappear into the jungle at any time he wants
Yeah,
and reappear magically.
He would steal from the panthers and give to the cheetahs. He was like a Robin Hood of the jungle.
Just to fuck with him.
Yeah, just be a douchebag. Really hated panthers. Zen's dad.
Look, guys, honestly, I grew up in a place where, like, 100 years ago, there were actual, honest to God, headhunter tribes living in the area.
Whoa.
Jesus.
That's awesome.
So, a lot of these things are just mundane when I was growing up there.
Sure. Well, yeah,
Oh,
compared
just
to the
every
stories about
day,
headhunters, it's like, oh, a bear in a cage. Big fucking deal, Dad.
I grew up
Boring.
in the mighty
Come back when you have a
cul-de-sac.
dinosaur.
No, it was a small bear. It was only 5 foot tall,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
only
yeah,
5 foot
only
tall
a 5
bear.
foot
Yeah,
bear,
that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, when it got out of the cage one day, it just went back in by itself after a bit of it just went back
After
into the
some
cage by
It's a
itself.
bit of
Scolding.
wrestling, yeah.
Yeah, your dad just raised his hand. The bear was like, "Okay, I'm good. Go back in."
That reminds me of that scene from Lone Ranger, the Chuck Norris show. Did you ever see that scene? Where, like, okay, obviously not. So the background is that like Chuck Norris had a show called Lone Ranger. Oh, no, it wasn't Lone Ranger. It was some Walker, Texas Ranger. That was it. And the show started off like reasonably like, okay, Chuck Norris is a badass. He does badass things. But as the show got into later seasons, it just got more and more ridiculous until this one point where a bear was mauling people, and Chuck Norris literally stared the bear down to like beat the bear, and that's how the episode ends.
It just has a heart attack and collapses.
And then the ending credits was like based on a true story.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, you guys can look it up. It's called a sun bear, like the sun, right? And it's the smallest bear in the world. So it's not that
bear from
big.
the sun.
That's not that much of a badass.
But it's still a bear.
Bear born and raised on the sun.
Still a bear.
Yeah, bear's
Oh my
a bear's
God.
a bear. It's a bear. It's a bear.
That's a fair point, yeah.
It's a
Yep.
bear.
Maiden bear.
The bear.
Hey,
looks
So
badass,
are we ready to segue into the lightning round?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, if nobody
How
else
about
has any
everyone
video
else?
games they want to mention.
No.
Alrighty, so lightning round begins. First question: what does everybody think about the new Xbox and the new PlayStation?
I don't know anything about them.
Oh, right.
I didn't hear anything about the
We
new
were gonna-
PlayStation, but I heard the new Xbox is going to be a powerful machine. Or again, rumors upon rumors.
Right.
But if everything they say so far is true, it's looking to be really cool for a console. That is. So It's but besides that, I've heard absolutely nothing else about it. I'm hearing also they said they were going to call it Xbox.
Yeah.
And it's like,
wait,
oh,
they're just calling
good.
it
That won't be
Xbox?
confusing at all.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
It's super
It
edgy
does.
to just take out words and letters. Like, that's like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is just Texas Chainsaw now. It's like, no one needs the massacre. That's so lame. And
Just
last
a
year.
chainsaw from Texas.
The Texan chainsaw. just an animate chainsaw that wanders around. That would be a good. I would watch that movie.
I would definitely watch that movie. That sounds like what is it called? I think it's Deathbed, the bed that eats people.
What?
Oh my god! Did it
Is
walk
that is that
around
related
movie?
to the piano from Super Mario 64?
No, but I wish it was.
Oh god. I mean,
No,
you guys should watch a movie called Hausu. Hausu. It's a Japanese horror movie.
Then you know it's good.
It's
Yeah.
good. It does feature a carnivorous piano. That's all I'm going to
Oh
say.
man, is that? I wonder if that's what Super Mario 64 is based on.
Oh, that fucking piano. Nightmares. Fucking nightmares.
Seriously.
That thing is fucking scary, man.
In Super Mario 64.
Okay, so I've sprinkled some, slightly irrelevant questions throughout some very relevant
slightly.
questions.
We are not
So here's-
surprised.
Slightly.
I like
Oh,
the irrelevant.
wait a minute though. The only thing we said about the new Xbox was that it's kind of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's keep talking about it a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm
maybe we should-
making a slow transition from consoles to the computer because it's just so convenient to use the computer now, and consoles are honestly kind of
Yeah.
inconvenient because you have to go buy the CD for $60 too.
CD.
Yeah.
Whereas you can
Yeah.
get like the same game on Steam on a Steam sale for 60% off. It's like
Yeah.
I don't
Totally.
know why I would do anything else.
That's a good talking
do you
point,
guys
actually.
plan on buying the new Xbox or PlayStation at all?
I
Not
don't.
right away.
Yeah, I'm not going to be an early adopter, but I'll probably
It
buy it
depends.
eventually.
Bungie's new game Destiny is going to be on it, and
Yeah.
I want to play that. Looks so good.
I mean, the only
Yeah.
reason I bought the original Xbox was because GTA 4 was going to be on Xbox 360, so I bought it. And I bought Halo 3 and played that because it's just like, well, I mean, if I'm going to have an Xbox,
might as well.
it would be blasphemy to not have Halo, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is,
Yeah.
I'm seeing such a trend toward like there's a good PC version of a game and then the bad console version. There are very few really intriguing console exclusives anymore, and it seems like
Right.
they're getting less and less as time goes on. So at this
Right.
point, to me, as somebody who owns a really good computer, it seems utterly pointless for me to buy a console. So I don't plan on it at all.
Although, I will say, though, it does look like that now, but you also have to remember that this console cycle is one of the longest we've ever had, and the console
True.
cycle
True
is
enough.
near an end. So while that is true now, I mean, that's mostly just because games are being completely held back by this shitty console cycle.
True.
But like, I'm sure when you get into a year after PS3 or the PS4 and Xbox 720 come out, I'm sure it's going to be a similar scenario as it did with Xbox 360. I don't really foresee that, but it is entirely possible.
Yeah,
See,
we'll see.
I don't-
We'll see how many
I think-
exclusives there are. That's my
yeah,
deciding factor right there.
I
This
don't.
is pretty much the time for if consoles are going to try to do anything to reclaim a hot spot on the gaming market. Now's the time.
Yeah,
this
they're
year,
gonna have to.
E3.
They're gonna have to fucking do it too. They have to make
Yeah.
really powerful consoles for really cheap.
And
That's
they
the
have
If
to,
only
that thing
way.
doesn't print bacon, I don't know.
and they
That
also
is not
have
gonna
to
a lot of-
they have to embrace digital distribution right away, because otherwise they're going to get blown the fuck out of the water.
See,
because-
I don't think. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. That's all I was going to say, really.
I really don't think that consoles are totally dead. I mean,
They're
I've
not.
been
they're
thinking
not
about this
dead.
for a while. If there was a handheld Xbox, I would totally buy it instantaneously. But the thing is, when I'm at home sitting in front of my TV, I can hook my computer into my TV, and it's the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
the
and
Yeah, I
exact same
don't.
thing,
Right
but with
now,
more
I have no
control.
disadvantages except for exclusives compared to consoles. That's my big thing. It's like
For,
they'll
like-
have to give me some substantial disadvantages to my PC before I'd even consider it.
Right, exactly. I mean, for like 3 years almost now, my computer was hooked up to my TV. You know?
Yeah, me too.
So-
When I was in college, I didn't have a TV. I just hooked my computer up to like a, to a screen or whatever.
Yeah,
My
I just have a sweet
entire-
monitor.
Like my entire Binding of Isaac Let's Play before like a couple of weeks ago was played on my TV. So that's that.
But that being
Yeah.
said, though, the consoles, they're not trying to be, like, we were talking about this in a Skype call recently, they're not trying to be a gaming console. Like, the new Xbox isn't going to be a gaming console, it's going to be an entertainment system. That's what they're really going for. It's a bigger market, and it's smarter because, honestly, I might buy, like, one of the big selling factors with the PS2, like, you know, they only recently stopped making PS2s, like, a couple days ago?
Right.
A big selling factor is because it was a cheap DVD player. You know,
totally.
and it's getting more like that. I mean, you know, like Xbox is making deals with TV networks. Like I think they've already signed 100 channels, to be on the Xbox. So you know that's what they're really going for, and I think that's the market that they're really going to try to hit because I think they're starting to understand that, you know, you can't keep up with gaming because of Moore's law. Right, so you can't really keep up with that.
Totally.
So get entertainment instead, because these cable companies are dropping the ball. They don't give a shit anymore, and they want to be the new guys in town. And I think that's a fair point. I think that's a fair idea. And I might buy an Xbox if it's going to be my entertainment system in my house. You know?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like I really need an entertainment system because I don't watch TV and I can watch movies and whatever the fuck I want on my computer as well.
Exactly.
But yeah, for people who want an entertainment center like in their living room, totally, yeah. If the Xbox does a really good job of that and is not terribly cost prohibitive, I could see that being a good avenue for them to take. For sure.
One thing that was really bothering me was that they were mentioning the Kinect 2, and it's just like, stop it.
Well,
Microsoft, stop.
Kinect has potential. I really feel like I just feel like the technology in the first one is not there, but it could be cool. Maybe.
Honestly, I think the technology is there, and I think the technology is awesome. I don't think it has anything to fucking do with video games, though.
Yeah,
I will say
that's how I feel about it.
I mean, I don't even like the Wiimote still. I still find that, like, I don't want to play a video game with that.
Well, the Wiimote is like a glorified mouse anyway, so, like...
Yeah, exactly.
You know, guys, as a dirty, filthy casual player, I was so disappointed when there was no Tai Chi tutorial on the Kinect. That was what I was looking forward to. You know, I wanted to learn Tai Chi by doing Kinect, you know. And looking at this Just Dance 1, Just Dance 2, Just Dance... Where's my Just Tai Chi? I want that.
Is that so much to ask?
I just want my Just Tai Chi.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, the coolest thing
You
I
should-
ever did
we
with
should
like a
kickstart
motion
that.
sensor.
God.
The coolest thing I ever did with a motion sensor was like I got the Wii and I did the like mini game where it's like you wash the windows and then I was like, all right, I'm done with this.
The minigame where you wash the windows.
Is that wait on the Wii, not on the Kinect?
No, it was on the Wii. Yeah,
What are you
you
talking
literally
about?
like scrub down the windows completely.
Was
as
that
fast
in,
as
like-
you can?
Oh, is that
I
in
played-
WarioWare?
No, it was like it came as like a one of those Wii Sports things. I don't think it was a Wii Sport.
What?
But it was like a little
I don't think it's a
mini-game.
Wii Sport.
That's
I
the
swear
name
to God.
of Sports.
I'm pretty sure
Oh,
you're talking
no!
about WarioWare.
It was on maybe
Wii
it was
Shorts?
on PlayStation. I don't know.
All right.
Okay. Next question.
Let's
Can we move
No,
on?
no, but
Anyway.
one thing that I do want to say about the Kinect before we go, the Kinect actually has some really cool tech in it. Because, you know, basically the history of the Kinect is that it was an Israeli company just made this thing, and Xbox was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Let's buy that shit because everybody wants this motion nonsense. But what's really cool about the Kinect is, like, the modders who have fucked with it have made some really cool stuff. Like, there was this one rig that I saw that used, I think it was 2 Kinects on a rig, and it could just 3D map a room. Like, you don't have to do...
fuck.
Like, yeah, it could just 3D map a room. In color, too. And that's fucking awesome. That's really
That's
cool.
cool.
That's the kind of tech that is going to be great for doing lots of things, just not gaming. But
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so irrelevant question for everyone: what is your worst fear?
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, phobia style, not like a comet
Someone
hitting
else wanna
Earth
go
or an
first?
asteroid hitting Earth.
Oh,
Failure?
God.
So my worst like irrational phobia is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, irrational. That's important.
Irrational.
Probably spiders.
Spiders
I
are
don't really
cute.
like spiders.
I like spiders.
Yeah,
I don't
They don't
think
like
anyone.
Freak me out, but I don't like them to touch me.
Yeah.
yeah. I actually have a semi-related story. I'm not terrified of them, but I really can't handle bugs.
No,
Like,
Cameron
when I-
is terrified of them. I can confirm this. I used to live with him.
Yeah, literally, Rob's job.
Screaming
Rob's
and standing on a stool in the kitchen.
That's
Rob, were you one of those guys?
I can.
Spider, get it!
You are actually not exaggerating. That is an event
Yeah.
that happened. Cameron was standing on a chair because he was afraid of a
I
bug.
would totally do that.
Yeah,
there
Cam,
were-
Cam would
Cam.
totally be the
Well,
housewife.
once I
in
got
your
clued
arrangement.
into it, like I got clued in that he was terrified of bugs, and there was like, there's a bug in the bathroom, and I usually killed him, and he'd be like, "Oh, Rob, there's a bug in the bathroom, go kill it." And I was like, "All right, I'll go kill it." Oh, wait a second, no, you go kill it. It's like, you gotta take a shower, you go fucking do it. It's like, well, all right, fine, I won't take a shower. then.
that was your job, Rob. You killed the bugs, and I was the comic relief.
The worst
That was
sitcom.
the arrangement. It was on the lease.
It was entirely the odd couple situations. That's
No.
what was happening.
You know,
On a
Cam?
related note,
totally.
though, I was biking over to the computer store today because my computer's been broken and I have to go back and forth between that place a lot. And a butterfly hit me in the face and then the neck. And,
Wow.
and I almost crashed my bike because
Oh
of
my
it.
god.
And then,
You just fucking
and then
flew up
I
and
got
punched
to
him.
the store and I was like, that fucking butterfly better not be like in my shirt or something. I unzipped my jacket when I'm in the store and the butterfly flew out and I flipped out. It was terrifying.
Wait, those store workers must have thought you were fucking magical. If like
Yeah.
you opened your jacket, and, like butterflies fly
Yeah,
out.
you should have done it like
There was-
Job
no, there
style.
was-
Just like bring in a boombox. Do-do-do-do.
Oh, you beat me to that.
Unzip your jacket. Boom.
Like
It was
flowers
actually
on
kind
a
of
die. Like
It was kind of awkward because I went up to the counter and this is when I was at the return counter, which is like right inside the door, and that's when I unzipped my jacket. And the guy saw the butterfly come out of my jacket, but he didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, it's totally normal. How can I help you, sir?
It was terrifying.
Oh man.
wait. So what you got from that event was
Oh,
it was
no.
terrifying.
Yes.
The butterfly was terrifying.
Did you like stumble back several steps and fall over? I hope you did.
No, it was. I just kind of was like, oh fuck, oh jeez.
And then
And-
started
but-
like slapping your hands around.
The most terrifying part of it was just the suspense of thinking that the butterfly was in my jacket.
Oh
the whole
god.
time.
Look, Cam, I'm going to blow your mind right now. You might have an affinity for insects. They might just like you. You know, one of these days you're going to open your jacket and like a praying mantis will just jump out.
And start talking to you.
Or a whole cloud of butterflies.
Oh god. Yeah, my parents used to say that bugs like to bite me and land on me because I smell like milk.
Wait,
What
why do
the
you
fuck
smell
is
like
going
No,
on
can you confirm
in
this?
Canada?
I don't know.
What the hell?
I can't explain. I didn't understand the reference either. I thought maybe you guys could give me some insit on it.
No,
reference
I
that
think
you
your
made?
parents were just fucking weird. That's my
Yeah,
insight.
Let's move on from this, please. And
Wait,
Austin, do you
did
have
everybody,
an irrational
did everybody
fear?
say their? Oh, yeah.
I am irrational. That's a word. I am terrified of Slenderman. I'm not gonna lie. That shit fucks with my brain. Not the game, the story itself. Specifically the YouTube series. That shit. Bad stuff.
Okay.
I also live out in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of very wooded areas, and there's no lights. There's no street lights, or we don't really have a street nearby because we have a very long driveway. And if you walk outside, it's completely pitch dark, and there's nothing but like woods. It's not a pleasant place to be.
Sounds a lot like my
So-
house, actually.
Yeah,
So we have
that shit.
we have green spiders. I'm bugs. Austin is Slenderman.
Well, I'm afraid of Zen snapping my neck when I cross him. So that's what I'm afraid of.
I can't do that. I really cannot. The only thing I really would know how to do is to break your knees.
Oh,
Oh,
well,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
okay.
Yeah. Well,
You
and then,
like your ACL?
but he's also a really good cook. He could break your knees and then drag you home.
And then cook my knees like he did in Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah, exactly. And you know that sushi technique where you cook the fish while it's still alive, or like prepare the fish while it's still alive, and then you eat it.
Oh god.
Yeah, he can do
Oh
that with
yeah,
humans,
that's
I
fucked
bet.
up.
Yeah.
Oh God. Zen, do you have an irrational fear, or are you just invincible?
I don't at the moment, but when I was younger, I used to be scared of finding satanic messages in pop and rock songs.
Wow.
I know it.
Wow, that's
I would not have
oddly
guessed that
specific.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I watched these when I went to a Christian school, That screwed me up, right? So we were forced to watch this documentary called Hell's Bells, right? In which they made they were seriously talking about how all rock music is satanic.
Yeah.
And after that, for like at least 2 years, I had this irrational fear of, okay, are there any little squeaks in this song that I'm listening to that might be a satanic message that will come into my head and turn me into a Satanist? Like one night I woke up, right? And I had what is called a night terror. Or what is called...
Oh, yeah, where you're paralyzed and you see
sleep paralysis, right?
Yeah.
So I was falling asleep and I heard this satanic voice like whispering in my head.
Oh,
and that was it for me. I was like, nope! I got up to sleep for the rest of the night and
no more rock and roll for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, I had a really bad night terror recently where I woke up and my eyes were open, basically, but I was still pretty much asleep. And I swear to God, I was convinced someone was coming into my place with an attack dog. I was so tired.
Man.
I was so tired that I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll let the attack dog wake me up when it attacks me. Went back to sleep.
This is Cam's life. He's so fucking lazy he can't lift a finger to save himself until he's actually being bitten by a dog.
I know.
I'll deal with it later. I'll just procrastinate a little bit more.
Yeah. Sleep paralysis is so scary, man.
Nightmares are like the douchiest thing like life has just made,
Yeah.
like evolution and whatnot. It's like, oh, all the things you're scared of, we'll just play it like a movie for you. Look, have fun while you sleep at night in the dark.
You know how you guys were doing the questions only thing, like in some of the really funny episodes that you're doing? Like, everything's question. That Lavender Town music always scares me. That kind of thing. Right? I had a dream in which my mom was hiding me behind a couch because this really evil, like, ghost was going to come into the room, right? Like, this old woman who was cursing and was going to kill us all. And that's exactly how she talked. Like, all her sentences are like that in the dream. Right?
Oh,
Like,
really?
I'm
Like
coming to
posting
come and eat
questions?
you now? Yep. Exactly like that.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, that was my dream. I woke up, I was like sweating. Oh my god.
That was actually me
Oh,
whipping in your ear.
Yeah,
while you were
you
asleep.
just had premonitions of Cam and the terrible experiences that you'd have. That's all it'd be.
Okay.
So I saw in the chat someone actually asked about lucid dreams. Anyone had any experience with
Oh,
that?
I wish.
That shit is so cool.
I used to be
best
really
is-
interested in that when I was in high school, but I could never do it.
I was super interested in that.
I'm-
Insanely difficult, but it is cool to be able to do.
I've-
I could do it about once
Nice.
every couple of months.
That's
just
really
on
nice.
a rare occasion.
I've mastered
it is.
one thing in lucid dreaming, and that's flying, and it's the coolest thing.
That's
It is
awesome,
pretty cool.
man.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
Because-
actually. Oh yeah, go on. Sorry.
Sorry, you realize that you don't realize that you're dreaming. You don't go like, I'm dreaming, but you realize that it's like, wait, I can do this. I can fly right now. Let's
that's weird
do
because
it.
I do realize I'm like, this is totally a dream right now. This is.
I mean, I have that
and it's
notion,
weird
but
because I have to convince myself because I'll forget. Like the dream can come back and be like, no, sorry, no, I got you back. And it's really a weird feeling of knowing that you know something, but also knowing that you could not know that in a very short time. If that makes any sense.
So, somebody's asking what a lucid dream is. Can one of you explain?
Oh, okay. A lucid dream is basically you're in a dream and you realize that you're in a dream and you're able to control the fact that you're in a dream and you can do. I don't want to say anything, but essentially you can do whatever you can.
Basically.
well, one of the craziest lucid dreams I had actually involved Rob, and that sounds really.
Oh, I want to hear
man.
this
Rob,
one.
and I was like,
Oh, let me
that's a
scoot my
perfect
chair in. Oh, go ahead.
opportunity to
Cameron.
bang him.
Basically, what was happening was I was on a boat and a giant tidal wave was coming at us, and then I was like, wait a second, I can save myself from this because I'm in a dream right now, therefore I can fly away. So I flew away and I flew back to my apartment, and there was Rob sitting on the couch, and suddenly it changed, and it wasn't a tidal wave, it was
Suddenly
pirates.
you were both naked.
It was pirates.
Pirates were coming to attack. And so I was like, Rob, pirates are coming to attack. We gotta do something. And Rob was just like, yeah, like, sure.
Did you-
Yeah.
did you shiver his
exactly
timber?
like
I'll
it,
get to
dude.
it later, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
whatever.
And then the pirates were literally like bashing down the door, and Rob was still like, yeah, yeah, right. And it was like, oh my god, Rob, fucking.
Was I shitting my pants in the stream? Is that what that noise was?
And so then I was gonna save you, and then I just flew out the door, and I was like, fuck it, I'm leaving Rob behind.
Did you climb onto his poop deck?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
hey-o.
Hashtag CamXRob.
Oh, god damn
If anybody ever needed fuel
Oh.
for their CamXRob fan fiction, there you go.
Wait,
You've already had one
I
picture.
I have the
Adventure.
most amazing fan fiction, like Camex Rob picture that I will post
Oh
in
man,
chat.
that was good.
Yeah, that already exists.
Yeah.
Do more. We want to see it. We don't.
we
do.
don't.
Put that in the chat. It's really good.
Yeah,
I'm getting
it's
raped by an
murdered.
alpaca.
Yeah.
Try to remind me, guys. Try to remind me to
Don't
put this
spoil
in the
it,
description
Cameron.
of the
God
video.
damn.
Yeah.
But someone also asked about recurring dreams in the chat.
Oh god.
And I will have a dream at least once every 2 weeks about the end of the world in different ways every time.
Is it the Mayans?
And it's weird because it's always about me sort of like going after like the end of the world, like what happens afterwards. It's really, I want to say cool, but also terrifying at the same time.
Well, if I were to say anything about lucid dreaming, I'd say that there is this stuff called mugwort, which is legal, by the way. And it's stuff that you can find. It's actually a pretty domesticated plant. It's all over the place. You can find it. It's all over Central Park, actually. But anyway, you can make a tea out of it, and essentially it just stays in your system. And when you go to sleep, what it's supposed to do is help you lucid dream. I didn't really have those kind of experiences with it, but it did allow me to remember my dreams, which was awesome but it was awesome and then also shitty because I would take the train to school every day, and on the way back from school I would take a nap on the train because it was a long train ride, and then I'd wake up like at my stop and be like, oh Jesus, I was just fighting a fucking dragon or something, and like now I'm back in the real world and grounded, and like people see me and I look terrified, and yeah.
I think I would avoid drinking them because I have fucked up dreams and I don't want to remember a lot of them.
Oh, I agree. Actually, yeah,
It makes the dreams crazy. Yeah, so probably not.
as if I need help with that.
I-
I will not go into it live on this podcast.
Yeah.
It's the last thing I'm going to do. But if you get me drunk enough, maybe.
well,
private.
add that to the list then.
Yeah.
So, to move this along a little bit, would all of us be open to doing a 4-player co-op game?
We already-
Well,
I
there's
guess
5
so.
of us.
Wait. Well,
but-
yeah. There's
Yeah,
five.
there are
there's
5 of
that,
us.
But
Obviously, I would be discluded.
That's
Oh, there you go.
still not a word, Cameron. Still,
Yeah.
that
I invented this word, and it is a word now.
If you came to the stream on Wednesday, a lot of us were playing Magica. Zen couldn't make it, but everybody else was.
Yeah, that's most likely what's going to happen. Most likely it's going to be me just being really busy, unfortunately.
Yeah, too bad. Yeah, Zen just got a new job today, but I won't.
No, wait, hold on. It was the final round of interviews, so I don't know
Okay,
yet.
Well, he probably got a new job today.
Congratulations,
Yep.
Zen!
So we can
Yeah,
finally
no.
stop killing tigers for a living. That was, that was
Yeah.
stressful.
Growing marijuana in the stomachs of dead tigers.
Jeez Louise.
That's the best marijuana. You can get so much for that.
He was just an illegal
We-
catnip dealer to tigers. That's what tigers were his
Yeah.
client.
We were actually discussing, or I was suggesting a 4-player game we could play that I didn't know we could play. That Rob said we could play Mario Party. I didn't know we could do that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But that's something I want to do because that if you've played Mario Party before, you know how that goes.
Barely, maybe. I'm thinking back onto my college years now. 200 centuries
just-
ago.
It just makes you hate your friends. It does.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yep.
okay.
It's kind
Yeah,
of like
I
Monopoly.
played like Mario Party
It-
fucking 12 or something recently.
Oh, the new one? You
friends.
mean 9?
Yeah, and like the whole game was just push A to roll the dice. Oh, you won, or oh,
yeah,
you lose.
yeah. I heard it's really
Oh,
bad.
man.
I've heard Mario Party 9 is terrible.
Mario Party games have never been historically good.
Good, yeah, but this one was especially bad. I think.
Yeah, well, it's all random. Like it's not even really like it plays at being a board game, but there's almost no strategy to it. Like it's more or less random.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but it's
Yeah,
still a
and
fun
in this,
time.
in this specific one I played, everybody was on the same tile. Like every time you rolled the
What?
dice, everybody moved. Yeah. And then you all played the same game together, and the game was almost invariably push A to roll the dice and see if you won. And then whoever won got some points, and then you rolled the dice some more to go on to some more. It was like, there's nothing interesting about it. Oh, man.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
That sounds
Why
like
change Mario Party? It's already it's not perfect, but it's already fun.
that's
I need to make
that
it.
just sounds like Nintendo. Like, oh no, but if someone wins, then the other losers will be angry. We should just make it so everybody wins. It's
Well,
like
somebody did win, though.
Oh really?
Like there was a winner, but it was based on how many points you accumulated.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay,
Well.
so next question. If everyone was a gym leader in Pokemon, what would your element be?
Surprise.
The mistake that every single fucking gym leader in Pokemon makes is like, I'm gonna focus on one type, and then you could just fuck them up with that one disadvantage. I wouldn't
Right.
choose a type. I would have a balanced fucking set of Pokemon. I don't understand how these people who don't understand how to fight Pokemon are all gym leaders.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's silly.
Yeah, well, and
You
then
know-
you always have the end guy, the Elite Four champion is
Yeah,
always
the
guy with
rival.
the most balanced team. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I would be douchebag.
Well, I'll tell you something. You know how there's so many Taekwondo schools here, martial arts schools here, in which if you just leave your kid in there for a year, they'll be like, congratulations, you got a black belt because your parents paid me so much money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
That's,
me.
I'm thinking that's roughly analogous to that.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. Yeah.
I think I would specialize in guns, and I would just kill their Pokemon.
Perfect.
And
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Don't even knock them out. Just fucking. Yeah.
Just kill them, slaughter them.
Kill them. Yeah. Then
I
they'll
win.
never come back.
By the way, guys,
I want to see if Cameron could get emotionally attached to the Nuzlocke challenge, because that would be an amazing thing to see.
That
What?
I
actually
don't know
would
what.
be a good Let's
I don't
Play.
know what that is.
It's too difficult for your standards right now, but maybe someday.
I'm not
Right.
saying that all Taekwondo schools are like that, but there are a bunch of them who are like that, or that are like that.
No, yeah, just all style. It's not just Taekwondo. It's any style of
any-
karate.
Yeah.
There's always gonna. There's ones where you have to, where you learn things, and ones where it's like an RPG, where it's
Yeah.
like grind out this many classes and you get a black belt.
Tiger
Yep.
Schulman's comes to mind.
What
When
now?
it's Tiger Schulman's. Have you ever heard of that? I used to go to Tiger Schulman's. It was a pretty popular like kung fu
Oh,
club
no,
or
never heard
thing
of
for
that.
I haven't
kids.
heard of it.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It was just, basically actually that all happened in the 80s because the Karate Kid came out and they were just like, whoa, kids like kung fu, karate clubs everywhere.
Yeah.
Um,
my Sifu was like a badass old man from Hong Kong who was called like the Black Panther of whatever style he was learning. You know, and there's like pictures of him like swinging a bench around.
a bat?
A bench. He would. Oh, Choi Lee Fan. Yes, he would teach some of the most advanced students how to fight with a bench.
That's
So-
Oh, wow.
So I wanted to learn that. I was just never good enough to get to impress a teacher that much. So Sifu then. So.
Yeah.
I want to learn Krav Maga. That'd be badass.
Ooh, yes.
Someone's whoever said bestiality isn't a crime in the chat. It actually is.
That's for sure a crime. Definitely.
But there are actually like 4 states where it's
Let's see,
not, which is really sad.
See if I can find my Sifu on the internet.
Wait,
Anyway,
wait. There are states where bestiality is legal?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to Google
Florida
this later
just
on.
made it illegal like 6 months
Why
ago.
would they
God
make
damn
that
it.
legal? What decision?
Well, it's not that they
That
made
was
it
the
legal.
top of my list. I could go hang out with old people and go to Disney World and fuck dogs. That would be perfect. My three favorite things in life.
Seriously though, how did that pass? It's just like, okay, I propose that we make having sex with animals legal now.
No,
And
they made it
everybody's just like,
illegal.
yeah.
No, it was just
always
never
legal.
made illegal.
I think it's one of those
Cameron.
things though, like that it's like they didn't know they needed to make a law until people started doing it. Like,
Right.
like there's
In
been a
the
rash
stupid
of
states.
sheep rape. I think we should
Yeah.
probably say something about this legally now.
It's called shrape, Rob.
Shrape, yes,
Yeah,
that's it, yes.
excuse me, let's
Sure.
use the PC terms here.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh man.
Were you gonna say something?
Oh yes, sorry.
No.
I was going to say
Oh.
that he was known as the fearless Black Panther of Boxing Choi Loi Fort. That's the name
Oh,
of his
the guy with the benches?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a good
he's a
name.
nice guy though. So
Okay,
I'd
real
imagine.
quick question.
Yeah.
Real quick question for Austin. Actually,
Oh.
how bad do you feel for losing the last 2 Isaac runs on your team?
Why did they bring that up?
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Mom's knife, quad shot, a couple,
Oh,
3
fuck.
tiers up hills, Book of Revelations, the Relic,
That is a good run.
everything that I needed to win, and lost.
That sucks.
And then the time before had like Polyphemus, a bunch of damage ups, tier ups, actually max tier rate with Polyphemus, and lost. This is a bad couple of days. I'm having a bad experience
Feels
with
bad, man.
Isaac.
All you have to do though is watch Cam play.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
then
got,
it makes me
in
feel
that
so
recent
much better.
video we made with him, he got his ass kicked by Pin. I watched that later. He like Pin just smacks him the
Who's
fuck
Pin?
down. It's
And then he beat Gertie Jr. without getting
Yeah, which
hit.
was bizarre.
I can't even do that.
Who's Pin?
Pin is the worm thing that jumps in and out of the ground.
Oh, that guy's an ass. I hate him.
He's one of the easiest bosses in the entire game.
No,
You
he's
have
he's one of the hardest.
you have to try to get hit by him.
Cam, you're like the idiot savant of Isaac.
I don't know if that. I think he's the idiot of Isaac. If he was the idiot savant of Isaac, he would have beaten Shoal already.
That's true.
I don't even know what everybody's referencing when they say Gertie and all this. So...
That was the big fat blob that we couldn't identify.
Yeah, the fat blob that fucking rushes at you and spawns flies to shoot at you. It's crazy, man. He's hard.
And I didn't get hit? I don't even realize that I did that. Okay, so to move it on here, does everybody... Okay, everyone has to make a choice. Pie or cake?
Really quick, somebody in the chat says, I think he's talking about Skull X. No, we're not talking about Skull X. He's never been to the womb. We're talking
he hasn't
about,
even been to the womb
talking about
yet.
Pain.
I don't know. All right. I honestly don't know what the womb is.
That's
Did
a
you
problem.
see it, Oh, never mind.
I beat the
we were
game,
just
though.
talking about this. We were just talking about how Cam thinks that women having wombs is a lie. It's a myth.
Yeah, it's a myth. Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Someone link this in the chat. I'm linking it in the Skype call so you guys can click on that.
Emerson's Cam X Rob thing.
Yeah.
Wow, he did that rather quickly.
Yeah.
Jesus. No, but I beat the game already, so it's over, right?
You didn't beat the game. You beat Mom.
You have a long magical journey ahead of you, young grasshopper.
Oh, Emerson, I love you. Oh,
Wait,
that's
what?
so good.
I'm glad
so
that I'm
everyone-
the power top. Really.
Everyone make your choice, pie or cake.
Cake.
Pie, obviously.
Oh, that's tough.
Oh, shit.
I would say cake, but now I used to say cake, but now it's pie.
Cake
Do I
is
have
not
every
even-
type of pie available to me for the rest of the time?
Well, no, that's not a part of this. It's just what you
We're
prefer.
just asking what we prefer. There's no hypothetical here.
Wait, are you saying that I don't get pie forever if I answer this question? I'm not going to answer that. There's nothing in it for me. I mean,
No, what we're
What's that?
saying, Rob, is do you like pie or cake better? If you could eat pie or cake right now, which one would you choose?
I need to know that I get some sort of reward for answering this question. Otherwise, it's a no-go.
Okay, Rob,
for me.
fine.
I don't
You
think-
get
I
fucking
don't-
infinite pie forever. Go.
All right, then I'm gonna go for pie. I'll go for pie.
God damn it, Rob.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was wrong. That was incorrect.
Yep.
Cake is not
No
that good,
infinite
man.
pie. Yeah,
Unless you're talking about,
I
like,
have to
cheesecake.
agree with Zen. God damn it, I have to agree with Green here. I like pie way more than I like cake because cake is just like bread with lots of sugar on top.
Yeah, exactly.
Cake is better until you
Until you eat two
can
bites.
Appreciate.
And then it's worse.
Oh yeah, right. Cake fills you up in
What?
like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
What
It's
did I
just
say
like,
about lasers? I don't even know.
well, Zen.
I really respect that he gave me sunglasses in that picture. And he also didn't make it so my tongue is hanging out again. So.
I'm sure you can fix
that
that
animation.
if you wanted
That animation for last. If you guys haven't seen this, Emerson Kitson, he's on YouTube. You can Google that. Made a video of the last podcast. Like a little animation. It is so funny. When Cam talks, he just looks so stupid. It's great.
Yeah, and in the video, he looked really stupid too.
It's true.
to. Oh.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, you guys.
Da-da-da-da-da.
That's my role. I accept it. I am the butthole of this group. Okay, this is the last question that I actually have.
What the fuck?
what-
Pie
you did
is
not
fruit
collect a
and
lot of-
veggies covered in sugar. Green, you make no sense. What are you talking about?
Have you
Yeah.
ever had
Who?
chocolate pie?
Fruit and veggies in a pie?
What are you talking? Like
Hey, you guys-
rhubarb pie, I guess. Which is okay.
Yes.
I mean, spinach pie is good.
I mean, you have to have like some good pie is the thing. Like we're assuming we're having the best of each.
That's
We're
true,
not
yeah.
having like crap like broccoli pie here.
Right,
would
and
eat
an
broccoli
infinite.
pie.
No, that's also true. There are savory pies, and those are fucking awesome as well. Like meat pie.
Ooh,
Oh my God,
I
so
forgot
good.
about those. Then pie. I'm
Yeah.
I'm defecting right now. Pie.
Yeah. Pie is the
Yeah.
winner, you
but,
guys.
But those are not covered in sugar. You don't.
Yeah,
you
there's
don't,
no sugar
yeah,
really.
There's
I
no
don't-
sugar in savory pie.
Oh yeah, I mean, and also, I mean, I don't know if you guys have like apple pie and stuff. It's like you don't really need to put extra sugar in apple pie. It's just apples.
Yeah, most people do, though.
Really?
Which is fine. Yeah, sugar and cinnamon and shit.
Interesting.
But yeah, I could totally see apple pie with no sugar in it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like pie crust. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Pie crust is
It's
good.
pretty damn
So-
delicious.
As for the final question here, and
Welcome
I
back
feel
to
like
Pie Talks.
it kind of wraps it up and brings it full circle for us. What do you guys prefer between Wrath of the Lamb and Vanilla Isaac? Icing,
Vanilla
actually.
Ice.
Vanilla icing, or Wrath of the Lamb.
Wow.
Wrath of the Lamb expanded it a lot. I like that better. Like, it's just straight up more content, and it's more of a challenge, which was great. Like, if I was just starting, I would probably prefer Vanilla Isaac, because Wrath of the Lamb is way too fucking hard for a new player. But I like, now that at the skill level I am, I like Wrath of the Lamb.
Do I have an infinite amount of vanilla icing and
Isaac.
Yes,
and Wrath of the
yes,
Lamb?
Ralph. Yes, Ralph.
I might-
Infinite vanilla icing.
I might have to go with the icing then. I don't know.
What are
That's
you
a tough. That's a tough
talking?
one.
We just have to promise
Did you
Rob
just turn
anything
into
he
Cam?
asks for to get him to ask.
No,
to
he
answer the question.
he said vanilla icing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So it's vanilla icing wins, everyone.
Yep.
Vanilla icing wins. Austin,
Vanilla
what
Isaac
do you
or Wrath of the
prefer?
Lamb?
Wrath of the Lamb is. I can't see anything wrong with Wrath of the Lamb in comparison. So, I mean, I guess the sacrifice room is totally pointless, and no one ever uses that. It's the only thing I'd say
True enough.
is
But you don't have to use it. It's not like it forces you on.
right. I mean, that's just the only negative thing I can see in all of Wrath of the Lamb. Everything else is just positive.
Yeah.
Okay. Side note, somebody just asked, does Cam know who the bloat or peep is? And I don't. I don't know what that is.
Yes.
Cam doesn't know anything.
The
in
first time
Isaac.
you see Peep, you are going to get your ass handed to you. Unless it's like Gertie Jr. and you're like magically really good at it. Yeah, Peep's a
okay.
dick. He has a lot of health and he's
a
hard to
dick?
avoid. Yeah, he's just a giant dick.
Yes, yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he just ejaculates everywhere. It's bad stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's terrible.
It's very hard to dodge his
So much
ejaculate.
Someone mentioned in the chat, Cameron, they asked like 40 questions. How do you only have like 5? What were you doing that
Well,
whole time?
there were some repeats from the last podcast that I had to just skip over because otherwise,
Oh, right,
when
right.
people re-listen to this, it's just gonna be like the same
Yeah,
content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
is that all the questions we want to answer?
I mean, yeah, that's all
Yeah,
the
I
questions
think
I've
so.
collected.
We've gone almost. We've
we
gone
also
an hour
did
and
the
40
question-
minutes now.
question
So
Yeah. That seems like a fair length podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for
Yeah.
watching. We Need to Go Deeper.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out Cam, Austin, Rob, and Zen.
Yeah, check
Their
us out.
channels. Yeah. Why don't you guys want to plug yourselves?
In the butt?
Yeah,
plug my
in the
beehole? Yeah.
right up there. Do it. You guys all got your butt plugs, right? This was
Yeah, of
this was-
course, yeah.
That was your one job from the last podcast. We were
Never leave
discussing
the
it
house
afterwards.
without my
We were
butt
like,
plugs.
everybody's got to buy butt plugs.
Don't worry, I got enough butt plugs for everyone.
Oh,
I
good,
made
yeah.
mine out
Why
of
don't you-
ice
why don't
and
you just
then
send
it
them through
melted,
the
so I'm
internet?
stuck.
Wow.
What?
God damn.
Anyway, why don't you guys tell people where they can find you on the internet?
Alpaca, you first.
All right. Well, yeah, you can find me at youtube.com/alpaca patrol, where we will be patrolling for alpacas. Also, that's the same thing on Twitter at alpaca patrol, and find me there as well. I do Isaac videos and stuff, and once I get my new computer in the next couple of days, I will have my Let's Play of FTL and Don't Starve and XCOM back up and running, hopefully very soon, and potentially some more stuff since I can get my new computer and play a lot more things. Also, a lot more checking out indie games in development and stuff. Indie Spotlight's going to return, and also games that I've gotten from the developers, because I've gotten a couple of developer copies of games that I still haven't had a chance to make videos on because of my crappy computer. So, yeah, that.
Okay, Austin.
My YouTube channel is Last Gray Wolf, but the L in Wolf is an I, as most of you know. So you can find me there. And I'm still doing Isaac and all the good stuff. So yeah, go ahead and come check it out.
Zen.
My channel is YouTube/user/Zen and Cyrene, Cyrrene. And like everyone else, I do Isaac, I've been doing Scribblenauts, and then I do really weird, bad games that nobody ever wants to play unless they are me or insane.
I like how you make a distinction there. Like, you're the only non-insane person who wants to play these games. Everybody else is crazy.
Well, I have no snappy comeback to that, so it's just going to have to stand by itself. Yes.
All right.
And you guys can find me at Currently Dancing Cam on YouTube. Hopefully, I'm starting up a new little Let's Play thing with Pikmin right now. I'm having a great time because I love Pikmin. And also, when Rob gets his new computer, no promises, but I'm hoping to do some, sweet co-op games, like possibly Portal 2. That might be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that would be fun.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
It won't be fun for Rob, but it will be fun.
Wait, I can only
actually
do
feel-
one color of Portal. Fuck this game. I'm done with it forever.
There's a right click button.
Yeah, he's still using a Mac mouse. Like, what is a right click?
But anyway, so thank you for having me and on this stream. I don't want to speak for everyone else.
I like how Cam.
And everyone else.
I was just gonna say, I like how Cam is totally taken over the announcer role here.
Yeah.
It makes it.
Yeah. Anyway,
it was getting confusing. Nobody was speaking, so I was just like, all right, I'll just make the order.
yeah, Cam's a leader, not a follower.
It really is.
All right.
I am
well, anyway,
not qualified.
thank you guys for watching the stream. Thank you guys for being on the stream. I hope you check out all of these guys, and I hope you guys visit us on the next stream, which is probably going to be next Friday at the same time. I'm not going to guarantee it, but that's what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just assume it is, unless we'll let you know if it changes. But if it doesn't, it should be the same time.
Yeah.
All right.
Love
See you
you.
guys next time.
Bye, guys.
I love you all.
Bye.
Adios.
Yeah, great way to end it.